Last night took a L, but tonight I bounce back. Wake up every morning, by the night I count stacks. Knew that it was real when I hit.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Bounce Back Podcast. Well, we're more of a show now, YouTube show, instead of a podcast, but we're still the Bounce Back Podcast. This is episode 5, The Battle in Rupp. We thank you for joining us again if you're watching us. And, of course, I'm your host, Dylan Young. I've got my friends with me, Keenan Chafin and James Wilson. Unfortunately, Maxwell Woods is out today. Didn't really want to talk Tennessee basketball. I have no clue why.
He's in his room
lost
crying,
a bet. No, we miss you, Max. Shout out, Max. You know, key player to the Bounce Back Podcast, of course. Today, talking about number 5 Kentucky and number 1 Tennessee. That game, we all watched that game, I'm sure. A little bit of extra college hoops talk. Got some games going on with Michigan and Maryland, Iowa State, Kansas State. That Duke win over Louisville was great, and of course the LSU game win over Kentucky. And we just finished up NBA All-Star Weekend. Team Giannis and Team LeBron. That's actually going on right now as we're recording. We don't get to watch that because we're trying to deliver this to you all because we got much love for you all.
You're welcome.
But we will talk about the dunk contest, 3-point contest, skills challenge, and a little bit of the Rising Stars challenge. And, of course, this week on the Bounce Back Podcast, this segment, He Got Bounced. We're taking the top 3 dunks from the slam dunk contest and ranking them 3, 2, 1. So 3, 2, 1. Let's get into it. All right. Number 5, Kentucky. Number 1, Tennessee. Kentucky wins 86-69. And, man, I want to talk about this. James, Max isn't here. He can't defend Tennessee.
I'm going to have to take the role of Max this week and try to defend Tennessee.
Try to defend Tennessee.
No, really, though. But what I saw was just a lack of effort, and this tends to come, guys, after a stroll of fortunate events in their 19-game winning streak.
Yeah.
You get very comfortable. You're very complacent. You get very, satisfied at where you're at.
They were basically blowing teams out until Kentucky.
Right.
Well, I mean, they didn't really – those 19 games, they're conference games, a lot of them, and they've played not that great of competition. Kentucky hasn't either.
Because I was going to say, hold on now.
I'm not going to say, Kentucky has, but we did play Kansas, but, that was a good game for us.
Win.
But Kansas is kind of falling off now.
Yeah.
But
they're still a top 25 team.
Just because they're a blue blood school.
I'll give them that. Yeah.
But anyway, back to our topic.
You also beat UNC and you've also beat Louisville.
Yeah.
Those are your 3 good wins.
But during the SEC, when you're playing the SEC isn't as tough as the Big 12 or the Big 10
or the ACC.
Yeah, the ACC is the best. I mean, they have 7 teams ranked in the top 25, and that's absolutely crazy. They might get 10 teams in the tournament.
Yeah. The SEC reminds me of the Pac-12 sometimes. Like sometimes they'll have 2 teams in the top 10 or top 25.
Yeah.
But most years they're just an average league.
Right now, I think, you got to take Kentucky and Tennessee as the top of the SEC, but everyone's forgetting about LSU. LSU just beat Kentucky. That's the top 3 teams in the SEC right now. If you're not playing those every night, and you can't play them every night, obviously, you got head-to-head battles, home-to-home battles, and that's what it is. That's what you're going up against.
Yeah. But, I mean, not even that. I don't think it's just the lack of competition that's set Tennessee back for that one game. I'm not going to say it set them back the rest of the season. But it's also the fact that you look at them as a team, as a whole, as a unit. And Tennessee's biggest threat is that you don't know who's going to come out that night and really ball. I mean, you got Greg Williams, you got Jordan Bowen, you got Admiral Schofield. You know those guys are going to come to play. But those guys, those role players that come through every night that can all give you 10 points apiece, none of them showed up. Together as a stat, as a whole, other than their big 3, they put together 17, 9, and 3 assists.
Yeah, so other than Jordan Bone, Grant Williams, and Admiral Schofield, they only scored 17 points as a team.
Yeah.
You
can't beat any team. You can't beat Seton Hall like that.
Which that doesn't happen often for Tennessee.
No. Or any team, really.
So it's probably their worst night they've played all season. The role players.
Honestly, you mentioned that Tennessee playing one of their worst games all season, and Kentucky played one of their best games all season.
I'll give them that.
And
especially with their field goal percentage and the way they shot.
Yeah, and Kentucky beat Tennessee in every stat category except for free throw percentage.
Because Tennessee had so many free throws that you can't win free throw percentage. Right?
I mean, hey, and I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
There was a lot of chit chat on Twitter, on other social media that Tennessee was not getting foul calls. And through the first 10 minutes, 12 minutes of the game, you know, I'm going to go with they really weren't getting some of the foul calls they should have gotten. Some of them were flops, though. When P.J. Washington set that screen on Grant Williams, that he flopped. Like, P.J. set a legal screen. Grant Williams just flopped. I'm sorry who thinks otherwise, but that's what happened. I mean, you know, watching that game, though, Kentucky just dominated in every single category. P.J. Washington just took him to school. 23 points, only missed 3 shots from the field. Every time they try to work that to him down there in the paint. Yeah. And they didn't double him. They doubled him like half the time. But if you got to double P.J. Washington, especially the way he's playing right now, every single time he gets the ball in the low block. And Tyler Hero, 15 points. And what stands out to me, we talked about this, James, 13 rebounds for a shooting guard. 13
rebounds, yeah.
I mean,
he's the real deal. He's a McDonald's All-American. He's probably gonna go to the draft next year.
Yeah, I mean, Tyler Hero, I mean, you know, come out there and get 13 boards, one of the more physical teams in the nation, Tennessee. Yeah. The physicality was just not there for Tennessee that night.
And what I didn't have the ability to watch the entire game, but on the way home, I watched the last 7-6 minutes of that game, and what I saw was Tennessee sitting in the zone. And I don't know if they sat in the zone all night.
No, they changed the zone. Yeah.
And that zone hurt them more than anything because the purpose of the zone is to keep them out of the key, which what I'm assuming P.J. Tucker was doing all night.
Yeah, P.J. Washington.
NBA
talk.
Which he was doing all night. But even going into the zone, that didn't stop him.
Yeah, it's just like no matter what they tried, it wasn't working. I mean, you know, Kentucky starts that game, gets a little good lead on them, and then Keldon Johnson comes out here 3 straight threes. Yeah. And that's where it's just like, okay, Kentucky's going to win this game. You know, you got Keldon Johnson, who's been very inconsistent lately. He's been in a slump. Come out, hit 3 straight threes. I mean, the boy had the green light coming out there. And then you go on a 14-0 run at a halftime.
Yeah. To their credit, they came back. They had a run of themselves. What was it, 10?
13-0.
13-0.
Yeah, 13-0. They cut it down to, I think, like 12 points.
12 points to the closest. But, I mean, it's honestly, it was nothing you can do when your field goal percentage is that bad and no one other than your big three are coming to play.
Especially when you're not getting foul calls.
You're not getting foul calls. And Admiral Schofield fouled out with a decent amount of time left.
But even though they weren't getting foul calls, they're still in the game in the first half. They're only down 6. And then in the second half, Kentucky just came out on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, you know, after last night's game and after a lot of Tennessee fans finally got to watch P.J. Washington over the last 8 games, honestly, for me, nobody's going to take me serious because they know I'm a Kentucky fan.
Right.
You know, they're just going to think I'm being biased. But I can make a strong case that P.J. Washington was the best player in the SEC in the month of February. So far in the month of February. In the month of February, he is.
I think stat-wise, there's no question. He has the stats to prove that. But I think influencing a team-wise, I think Grant Williams has influenced that Tennessee team in more ways than just stats. His plus-minus, you know, his effort, his leadership that he brings to the floor. I think in that way, he was one of the best SEC players. But stat-wise, I think you go with P.J. Washington.
Yeah, and let me emphasize this. I'm not saying P.J. Washington is better than Grant Williams by no means. Grant Williams is definitely better than P.J., but in not Saturday night, but you take the last 8 games Kentucky has played, P.J. Washington has scored 20 points in 7 of those games, averaging 21 points per game over the last 8 games, and 3 of those games have been double-doubles, and they've been pretty good wins. So that's all I'm saying. In the month of February, I'm putting P.J. just a little bit above Grant Williams right now.
I don't know if I'm putting him above Grant Williams. I think
just in the month of February. Far.
Stat-wise, yes. I don't think as a player I'd put him above, but if I'm looking at straight stats, I need someone who's going to give me some points and some rebounds. I'd put him above him for sure.
Yeah, I mean, and Grant Williams obviously he provides that leadership role out there that Tennessee needs too. Right. He's got he's a veteran out there, but PJ's been playing like a veteran too. Yeah. You see him, he's mean mugging. He's really standing tall against the opposing team, and he's showing that more physical leadership instead of vocal leadership. He's showing like, yo, like I'm going out there and I'm the man of this game right now. You all follow my lead.
Yeah, he had a fire lit under him during that game, and probably like you said for the last month of February. But I don't know, Grant Williams to me, he had still what I've seen is the smartest basketball play in college basketball this season when he called that timeout against Vanderbilt, and to me that speaks volumes to a character and how well he can lead a team.
Yeah, and we were talking about this. Kentucky lost to LSU right before they played Tennessee in Rupp, and I was messaging one of my friends that I'm glad Kentucky lost to LSU because that gave them more of an edge to come out there against Tennessee. They're not going to lose back-to-back games, especially in Rupp and under Calipari. They're not going to do it. Yeah. It just doesn't happen. Yeah. History shows it, and you're bringing Tennessee into Rupp. You got the number one on your back. Yeah. They're coming at you. Every team's coming at you, especially Kentucky. That's a rivalry game, an SEC game, a top 5 battle. Yeah. I mean,
that's
everything.
The 11th time they've been top 5 game in the SEC.
And Kentucky has been in every single one.
I didn't need to.
Kentucky has been in every single one. Keenan, you want to chime in any on this?
Tennessee just didn't come to play. They just didn't. They looked like they were complacent. They looked like, we're number one, coming in on a 19-game win streak. We're going to beat Kentucky. Yeah. We're not going to – because last year when they swept Kentucky, they outplayed Kentucky every time. Offensive boards, hustle plays, it just didn't show up in this game.
Yeah.
It didn't.
Go ahead.
Sorry, and to Tennessee's credit, I still don't think Tennessee is a worse team than Kentucky. I still think Tennessee's better than Kentucky. I think they played a bad game against a really good team. Yeah, and paid the consequences for it.
Yeah. Wait, did you say Kentucky was better than?
I said Kentucky was better than Tennessee. Now,
I'm gonna. Someone has to be on the other side. I'm on the other side. Tennessee over Kentucky.
No.
For right now, at least.
Right now, I got.
If this was a Tennessee home game, I would be the complete opposite way.
Yeah, put Kentucky over Tennessee.
I'd put Kentucky over Tennessee.
Right now, I have Tennessee 1A, Kentucky 1B in the SEC. Until I see that game in Thompson-Boling Arena of Tennessee and Kentucky, I can't decide now.
But then again, you have to, as Kentucky, you have to worry about LSU again. You have to worry about Alabama. You lost to both of those teams already, and you have to play them again.
True. But anyway, doesn't matter. Kentucky wins 86-69. That was the biggest game of the college hoops week. Let's get into some more games. Let's talk about one of the more exciting ones. Duke down 23 with 9 minutes and 15 seconds to go.
Yes.
They were down 59-36. Outscored Louisville 35-10 in 9 minutes. 35-10 to win 71-69.
I've been telling you about these boys all year. It's Duke basketball. It's what they do.
When you do that, come back down from 23 in 9 minutes to beat a number 16 Louisville team on the road, I think that solidifies you as the best team in the college basketball nation. Keenan, you want to chime in?
It says more about Louisville than it does Duke to me.
What?
Yeah.
Louisville choked.
Louisville choked.
Well, you can say the same thing about the Tennessee and Kentucky game. You know what I mean?
Tennessee choked. Yeah.
No, as a team, you don't think
it says more about Kentucky.
You think it says more? Then that's the opposite. You know what I mean? To come back says more about coming back than not coming back. You know what I mean?
When you're up 23 and you get complacent against a number 2 team you're supposed to win against.
What I'm saying is, if Duke didn't come back, you would be saying it's about Louisville still. It's still more
because Louisville had them down. Okay,
that's why I'm just.
I think Louisville, they got complacent, of course, like you all said. They were just comfortable. They're like, yo, we're really up 23 on these boys. They're supposed to be the best team. We're really up 23. Let's just go out there and chill, hold on to the ball. And then Coach K calls a timeout with 9 minutes, 15 seconds to go. They come out there in that full court press, and I've never seen better defense.
I think the complete opposite happened. I think they were focused, they were locked in as a Louisville team, which you have to be against a Duke team like that. And after that timeout, it wasn't we're complacent, let's just win. It's holy crap, who just turned the lights on? Duke is playing now.
Well, you really saw that championship mentality and that championship effort there by Duke. If they're playing like that, in that 9 minutes, they scored 35 points. Yeah. If they're playing like they did in that 9 minutes for a whole 40-minute game, absolutely no one's going to touch them. No one is going to touch them.
It would be impossible for them to play like that.
You cannot touch them
for 40 minutes. So.
Cannot touch them.
But when you score 10 points over 9 minutes, I think as a team, you have to really question yourself and what you're doing. Like your coach. Yeah.
I think that's. You can also say it's their defense though.
They play
press,
scared.
No, but that press is hard to break when you got Zion floating in the middle. You got RJ tipping passes.
As a coach, you have to make adjustments.
They
didn't make it. They didn't.
And LSU's coach, Louisville's coach should have stepped up. And, that's a coachable error.
Yeah, that's on the coach. Let's go ahead and move on. Number 19 LSU game winner over Kentucky. A little bit of a controversy there going on, whether it was basketball or goal interference or not. I don't know if you saw the replay or not. I don't even really want to throw in a take. I mean, we lost. I'm glad we lost because it gave us, or not we, but Kentucky. I'm glad Kentucky lost because, like I said, it gave them more of an edge to come out there and beat the number one team in the nation. What did you think? I mean,
as a rule, it has to be off the cylinder if it's on the rim.
The momentum
was it was off the rim, and the momentum was carrying outside, and his hand didn't go inside the cylinder. So if the rim is here and his hand went up here, it doesn't count as a goaltending because if he would have reached in and tried to dunk it, I think it would have been a goaltending call.
Yeah, I mean, but that game was close all the way through. 73-71, LSU wins. Kentucky was up 9 points. That was the biggest lead of the game, and that was to start the second half.
Yeah, and as a Kentucky team, they shouldn't have been that close.
No, LSU was sneaky good.
LSU was good. LSU was really good.
LSU was sneaky good.
When you're number 5, you can't let teams like that.
Especially at home.
That's why I was going to put emphasis on when you're at Rupp at home for Kentucky. You're bringing LSU in there, man, and you can't be back and forth battle with them. Yeah. And you just got out. That right there, Kentucky got outplayed. Mm-hmm. Kentucky got outplayed. LSU down the stretch wanted it more, had that little run to come back midway through the second half, and came back and got it done. They out-rebounded Kentucky, and they did it. Some more action going on. Number 6, Michigan just handled number 24, Maryland. I actually didn't watch that game, but I expected...
They lost earlier that week, too, on Tuesday.
Michigan? Yeah. I actually expected Maryland to give a little more of a game to Michigan, though, but Michigan just dominated that game.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same. I mean, where they lost.
Yeah, it's the same thing that happened in Kentucky. Yeah,
gave Michigan an edge. Agree. One of the surprises, I actually had Kansas State beat Iowa State because it was at Kansas State. Iowa State comes in, beats Kansas State 78-64. Iowa State number 23 in the nation at the time. Kansas State number 18 at the time. Shocking or not, Keenan?
Not really, especially with Kansas down in that division. I mean, so it's kind of up in the air, and those teams can really get it.
Well, Kansas State's hot.
They
were hot. Yeah, they were hot.
I had them as it was weird. I had Kentucky, Michigan, and Kansas State as one of my 3 hot teams last week, and all 3 of them lost. At least once.
Oh yeah, hey, that's the James Wilson curse right there. The Jay Will curse. Well, that's gonna be a new segment coming soon.
Oh God.
No, but see, I think that really solidifies Iowa State in the Big 10 or Big 12, excuse me. I think Max brought them up as one of his hottest teams.
He did.
And I like that. I mean, they let one go. I think it was like a week and a half ago or something. They let one go, but they're still sitting there. The Big 12 is going to probably have at least 7 teams in the bracket. I think 7. Yeah. I mean, they had 8.
Last year?
No, they had 8 right now, as the standings are right now. Yeah, bracketology, they have 8. Okay. I think they could get 7 in there. I think they sneak 7 in there. Okay. So that's the biggest action of the week. Talk about the biggest games, and now we're going to give you our top 5 after this past week. Who we think is in, who our top 5 in the nation is. Keenan, start us out.
Duke's obviously number 1.
Agree.
Virginia, I mean, I think pretty sure Virginia's going to be unanimous number 2. And then from there on, it kind of gets kind of murky. But I have Kentucky after beating the number 1 Tennessee.
You got Kentucky at 3?
Mm-hmm. Then I have Tennessee.
Respect.
And then I have Gonzaga.
So you hear Keenan.
Incorrect.
Keenan said Duke, Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Gonzaga. James, I'm going to let you go before me.
Why is that?
Just go ahead. Just go ahead. Just do it.
Duke, obviously. I thought Duke should have been number 1 last week.
Duke's my number 1, too. Duke should be your number 1.
Right. If it's not your number 1, then you shouldn't be watching basketball.
What are you watching?
Virginia, number 2. I have Gonzaga as number 3.
Okay.
Tennessee is number 4. And Kentucky is number 5.
Kentucky, number 5. Okay. I feel it. Number 1, Duke. Number 2, Virginia. Number 3, Tennessee. And I know some people are going to be surprised to hear that I have Tennessee at number 3, but I think they stay right there in the top 3. I mean, they lost to a top 5 team. They've beaten ranked teams, I know, but it's a top 5 team on the road.
You take the amount of losses
on the road. Yeah, on the road.
Didn't Kentucky drop down to like 9 after getting like mollywopped by Duke after they started number 1?
No, they dropped to like 5.
Was it last year?
No, that was this beginning of the first game.
Yeah, you guys dropped.
Yeah, number 4, I have Gonzaga. And number 5, I think Kentucky stays right at 5. I think that loss to LSU and then coming back to beat the number 1 team. If they didn't beat number 1 Tennessee, that would put them way back in the near 10th.
Well, they beat Duke.
Oh,
a
Gonzaga?
healthy Duke. The only team to do that.
You have Gonzaga where? You have Gonzaga number 3?
Yeah,
Tennessee.
Because
Tennessee
they're
beat
only
Gonzaga.
They're only but by 3 points in a neutral territory. If that game was at home, they win that game.
Yeah. And I guess if you're going to head-to-head, matchup, you put Kentucky over Tennessee. If you're doing that.
But Kentucky has lost to Seton Hall, Alabama, and LSU.
Oh, we gotta bring that up. Yeah. All right.
You know what I mean?
Kentucky
Tennessee has only lost to Kansas and Kentucky.
Kentucky has some bad losses, 4 bad losses, matter of fact. But yeah, so Duke, Virginia.
No, 3 bad losses. Duke isn't a bad loss.
Duke.
The way they
30-plus
lost,
points.
That's a bad loss.
30-plus points.
Especially when you're number 1.
Yeah, you're right. That's a bad loss. Go ahead. I just wanted to say that.
You heard our top 5. No one in the top 5 was out of the top 5 in our top 5. That's a lot of top 5 right there, repetition. Yeah. But you get what I'm saying. Let's go ahead and transition into the pros NBA All-Star Weekend. It's been exciting so far. I thought we kind of talked down on the Rising Stars game, and I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah. It was closer than I thought it was going to be. Usually it's a blowout in one team's favor.
It wasn't any defense though.
No.
It wasn't as entertaining as it should have been.
You see the end of the game? They didn't even start throwing dunks down.
Yeah, no. What's his name? He passed it. Yeah, he passed it.
He passed it to the other team. Yeah, he didn't even care.
Yeah, they just wanted to see a good dunk. But yeah, I like the Ben Simmons and Kyle Kuzma matchup. Kyle Kuzma wins MVP. He had 35 points.
Ben didn't take a 3.
What do you expect?
He tried to win.
Yeah, Ben was trying to win. He's not going to take a 3.
No, I would put money that he would at least took 1.
I know, it was disappointing. He's so scared of his 3-point shot that he won't even take one an exhibition game.
He needs to develop that.
Oh, boy.
Ben,
is scared.
Work on your shot, buddy.
For real. Amen, brother. Amen. Let's go on to the skills challenge. Jason Tatum took that.
Got lucky.
No.
Bro, he hit the half-court shot.
No. He got lucky.
The half-court shot. You called Kyle Kuzma.
I did call Kyle
My
Kuzma.
pick, Luka Doncic, beat your pick in the first round. So you took an L. Go ahead and sit out. You took Trae Young.
Kentucky lost to Seton Hall in Alabama.
This is
NBA. This is NBA talk.
This is February 17th. Okay, no, NBA talk. Not college talk anymore. Okay, yeah, you took Trae Young. I think he made it to the semifinals.
Yeah,
because he got beat by Jason Tatum.
No, who did he lose to? He might have lost to Jason.
Yeah, it was. It was in the championship.
Oh yeah, the half court
championship. Yeah.
He didn't make that shot though. That's why I'm saying it wasn't luck. Because if both balls would have went in, I would have called luck.
Yeah,
but
I mean, it was an exciting time for Jason
He
Tatum.
just threw up a half court shot.
It wasn't like he would have had another chance. Like it wasn't like
he was
Trae
behind.
Young would
He was
have
behind.
made
And he was scared Trae Young was gonna make it. So he was like,
cash money.
He doesn't do those shots in a game. So. But did you all hear what Jason Tatum said after he won the skills challenge?
I did not.
Where they presented him the trophy, and he said Celtics are winning the NBA Finals.
Well, what are you supposed to say? We're going to lose the NBA Finals?
Why bring it up?
To show confidence in yourself.
I like it, but
if you're not first, you're last.
Warriors.
You got to try to keep Kyrie, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just a mind thing. He was obviously smiling when he said it. He didn't
mean it because he knows he's not going to win it.
Not saying he didn't mean it, but
Toronto's better than Boston.
I've been saying that, and they're better than the Sixers. And people keep saying the Sixers are the best 5.
Sixers are better than Boston.
That's what I just said.
Okay, yeah. All right, let's go on to the 3-point contest. Gets a little more exciting. Joe Harris wins the 3-point contest. That's Max's pick. And do any of y'all know who Joe Harris is before this? I knew who he was.
I really didn't. I honestly didn't.
I knew who he was. I just didn't think he was that good of a shooter.
Oh, he's shooting like 47%.
I didn't know that though.
Yeah,
I knew the name.
He's a sharp shooter.
Joe Harris could have been in a crowd. And I could have walked up to him and been like, "Excuse me, sir, do you know who Joe Harris is?"
Like the custodian in the 3-point.
He lit it up. He lit it up, man. I really thought Steph and Buddy Hield went off the first round, man. And then I think it was in the last round he missed a couple shots and he's like, "Dang, I'm not gonna catch him now." So it's just like, I picked Steph. I don't know. You can't go against Steph.
No,
I mean, Steph
you can.
comes like that. You picked Devin Booker. You ain't got
Devin
no time,
Booker won before. So
yeah, he did.
So did Steph.
Steph did too, 2015. So
guess they can't win again.
You picked Kemba.
I picked Kemba.
Bro, Kemba choked.
I know he did.
Too bad Max isn't here because he picked
Joe Harris.
Joe Harris.
He picked the winner.
Exactly.
Only because
congratulations, Max. Yeah, he likes the Nets, but congratulations, Max.
Stop crying. You picked something right.
2019 Slam Dunk Contest, the best event of the night. It was pretty exciting.
Was it the best event of the night?
I think so. I mean,
I
it's
think
always
the skills challenge was the best event of the night.
But
you like
On
the
that
skills
buzzer-
challenge?
Well, that buzzer, he threw it up from half court.
You like half court shots over dunks?
I don't know. I mean, it wasn't a 2016 dunk contest.
No, it wasn't.
Yo, let's get into it though. Okay,
Okay.
but yeah, the dunk
Skills
contest.
challenge.
Everyone looks forward to that.
Yeah.
Hamidou Diallo.
There's a reason it goes first.
Hamidou
because everyone turns
Diallo.
on the TV for it. I'm just kidding.
All right, Hamidou Diallo wins the slam dunk contest. Your 2019 slam dunk champion. I mean, he had some pretty impressive dunks. He cleared Shaq.
It's probably the best dunk of the night.
Was
That's what
staring,
won him the trophy.
literally staring at the backboard when
That
he
was
threw
my
that
favorite
one
one.
down.
Yeah.
Who was your? Let me ask this, both of you guys. James, answer this first. Who was the most disappointing dunker in Saturday's dunk contest?
I think I would have liked to have seen Dennis
Smith Jr.
Dennis Smith Jr. make all of his attempts. If he goes without missing any of his dunk attempts, he would be right there for number 1, number 2.
Yeah, the difficulty was up there. It was up
He
there.
was trying a little
He was trying some crazy stuff. That between the legs reverse 360. That I don't know.
What about you, Keenan? Most disappointing?
Dennis Smith. I mean,
Dennis
you
Smith?
see all the hops he has in games, and he can't actually finish.
Yeah, after watching the Rising Stars Challenge, I'm saying John Collins was my disappointment. He came out there and didn't really.
His grab the back when he grabbed the backboard. That was my second favorite dunk of the night.
Really, I didn't think he did too
James
well.
is just having some bad takes tonight.
Congratulations to Dylan and Keenan for picking the winner, though.
Yeah,
That's our boy, bro.
yeah.
That's our boy. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into the next segment. We're going to take the top 3 dunks from the dunk contest called He Got Bounced. James, go ahead and start us off. Coming in at number 3, Hamidou Diallo. Staring at the rim, we talked about this one.
This one was my personal favorite.
Man, just throws it up there. High bounce. Oh, what's up, Rim? What's up, Rim?
You have to appreciate. Oh, he almost tripped right there. You have to appreciate the height that he gets
athleticism.
off 2 feet. He can literally brush his teeth with the rim off this dunk.
Yeah.
Look at
yeah.
that.
Oh, that's a good
That's
dunk.
ridiculous.
That's a good dunk. Number 2, Dennis Smith Jr. coming in at number 2, jumps over some of y'all's favorite rappers. One of my favorite rappers, Jermaine Cole.
Yeah.
Jermaine Cole sitting down. Those oop. Oh, he floating.
Yeah.
DSJ floating
dunk.
through
That
the
was a good
sky,
dunk.
man. He looked like a little plane up
Reminded me
there.
of like that MJ lean when he was
Look
in the
at
air.
the drip, though. J. Cole jersey, the high school jersey?
Yeah.
Oh, that's drip.
I mean,
oh,
that's a part of the
nice.
showmanship.
Yeah, I like that. Creativity, man. That's what's up.
J.
That's
Cole
what's
tries
up.
to get his little dunk in right here.
Yeah. I give you an 8, bro. I give you an 8.
Yeah.
Oh, coming in
That
at
was
number
wild.
1, we have, of course, your slam dunk champion, Hamidou Diallo, over Shaq, completely clears Shaq. This was Keenan's favorite.
Oh, yeah.
Hangs on the rim with his elbow and rips the jersey for the Superman, the S on the chest. That's awesome.
That's nice.
I mean, that's creative. And I mean, to sit there, that's strength right there. To sit there and hang on that.
Yeah, that hurts.
Oh, look, he's coming up here. Yeah. Oh man.
And
needs
he
some
daps up
minutes.
Raymond Felton.
Raymond Felton. What's up,
That's
Raymond?
Raymond Felton
Man,
up.
congratulations.
Oh my God.
Congratulations,
They going to McDonald's
Diallo.
after.
Hey man. Oh man.
Raymond had to pay for that ticket. That's how he got his money worth. So.
Okay. Last segment of the show, of course, we have for you the 2-minute rundown. Let's get right into it. 6 questions. We have your answers, and we're going to answer quickly this time because Max is not here. Oh, number 1. Is Tennessee overrated? Keenan?
No.
No,
No.
not at all. Which top 5 team in the nation in college basketball has the weakest schedule?
Zags.
Gonzaga.
Tennessee. And you know why? Gonzaga has the toughest.
Oh, here we go again with these bad takes.
Gonzaga has the toughest pre-conference schedule over anyone.
Yeah,
Anyone.
they do. Look, check.
Look
That's
it up.
fact check. Look it up. Really,
We don't
they
have
really
time.
do. They
Look
really
it
do. Dirk Nowitzki and Dwayne Wade getting one last shine in the NBA All-Star game. How do you feel about it?
They should be at it.
I like it.
I don't think this is Dirk's last All-Star game. Dirk hasn't announced retirement
Yeah,
yet.
Dirk said he might come back next season.
Yeah, but give him one. You're expecting it.
I like to see, old faces in the All-Star game.
Dirk drops 40 off the 1-footer fadeaway. No, I'm just joking. Best NBA slam dunk contest of all time, in your opinion, Kenyon?
2016.
2016? I'm going with 2016. That was Aaron Gordon versus Zach LaVine with 3 extra rounds for the tiebreaker contest.
I
What a
mean,
show.
Aaron Gordon got robbed.
It was our generation's Michael versus
Dominique and our generation. Well, I mean, I was like, what, 6 of the dunk? No, I was 5 when the dunk contest of Vince Carter took place.
Yeah.
I was 5.
It was Vince Carter by himself though. Like there
Yeah.
was no competition.
Vince Carter took that. Number 5. Who is your favorite to win the 2019 World Series with the MLB season opening up soon? Keenan.
St. Louis Cardinals.
St. Louis Cardinals.
St. Louis Cardinals.
Man, I'm going New York Yankees. I hate to say it, but the Yankees are stacked. They look pretty good.
I'm going with the Dodgers. Shout out to my pops, diehard Dodgers fan.
Yeah. Last question. So Far Gone, the Drake mixtape that was released 10 years ago, is out everywhere now on all streaming platforms. How excited were you, Keenan?
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Man, 20 out of 10. That's
20 out of 10.
That's one of my favorite Drake. That's one of my favorite Drake productions right there.
New Drake sound like old Drake.
New Drake sound like old Drake. Drake got a new album out. Go get it.
It's #1 album of the year. He might. How cool would it be to see him win a Grammy off of this 10 years later?
Man. That's it for the 2-minute rundown. Oh, man, we appreciate you all tuning in to the Bounce Back Podcast, Episode 5, The Battle in Rupp. We hope you all enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe to the Bounce Back Podcast. Appreciate y'all. Much love. We out. Catch y'all next time. Can't even throw your paper, bro.
I want to throw
You
my
never
paper.
throw your paper.
Last night took an L, but tonight I bounce back. Wake up every morning, by the night I count stacks. Knew that it was real when I hit it, bounce back.